are you aware of any instances where parental wounds have actually offended a person and seriously like destroyed their whole life?
Oh yes. In fact, we are all wounded. We're all wounded. I wouldn't want to give instance.
Oh no. I have to disagree with Mr. Adeshoye saying thank you for that, even though it is true. No, the reason I say that is because I agree we are actually all wounded. Yes.
Okay.
But it's not the type that you're saying because.
No, what I'm saying, whatever she's saying, let me tell you, it's a function of degree.
Yes.
So we are all wounded, function of degrees.
Okay,
so
yeah, we agree on that. We agree on that.
What?
We agree on that. I just wanted to share the peculiar.
I know someone. And that person is me.
Okay.
I know someone, and that person is me, and I have been a victim of parents that were narcissists. My father and my mom. My dad being in the military, actually started off as a disciplinarian. And we actually saw it. Given the time of the late 70s to the early 80s, having been raised by my dad. And then it was very, very easy for us to say, okay, being a military man, he had a way of certain strict values and wanting the children to abide by it. And then we absorbed the beating. And today we're beginning to see that all of these beatings that he got away with today wouldn't have been overlooked. What the beatings are now what the civil society referred to now as abuse, corporal punishment. All of this wasn't mentioned back then. And I would say yes, I am actually a victim. And I know the damage, the extent of damage it cost me. And a lot of times when it happened to us, we absorb it. We just have to be self-conscious to know that, yes, this is the damage it costs. So we do not risk it on our children. Imagine saying who beat and kill. Imagine when we say who beat and kill. And then when we make such reference or make such comments, we don't want to still beat our children.
Now, let me ask you this. I need to get this straight. Yes. You know why? Because the truth of the matter is, if we don't go in depth a bit more than the superficial beating that you're giving us, I'm not sure it will
resonate because everybody will say I was beaten as well, right?
Exactly.
Yes. So why is yours special?
Guess what? Your neighbors will beat you. Your neighbors will beat. And your parents will come. You dare not complain because they will say how to eat. So we see it as norm. And in all fairness, I think it helps to shape us. But I don't know. You know, okay, take for instance, let me use my dad as now. Let's personalize this. My dad will not beat you when he's angry. So if you offend him, his eyes will be red and everything, but he will not beat you. He will tell you, if I beat you now, as in, he knows he's going to wound his child or his children. He won't. So wait for another time. Do you know that kind of beating that they will allow you to sleep for 1 week? You know that your kid is still resting. And if he wants to beat you now, you will not like, okay, let's negotiate. This offense, don't you take his 10 strokes? Then you understand?
You had a parent. You had a parent that could get on that space.
Yes, I am trying to tell you that
I didn't have a dad like that.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. Not
when my father couldn't beat, he left it for his subordinates in the military to beat.
Really?
He didn't mind if his children could lose their lives, and my dad didn't mind it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just
that must have been very frightening.
Nothing happened to Uzo. Nobody beat Uzo, so she just enjoyed life, and she's unique.
Oh, I can't tell you that I was not beaten. Is there any of us who was not beaten? So, but like we said before, even Faith, who was talking about beating and even being beaten by other people who were assisting dad in beating. I am sure that all that is very little compared to the psychological pain in women.
Psychological, yes. So, emotional abuse.
Yes.
And verbal as well.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we are learning every day. Really, I have a lot to check after this conversation. I have a lot, especially the aspect of that reconciliation and vis-a-vis forgiving.
I would like to give an example of, I'm so sorry, Mr. Shai, for cutting you. The reason is because of time and also wanting to quickly share this. So I'd like to, because I wanted us to give clear examples. So I will give you 2 examples, right? The first one is about a girl who was, even though I didn't want to bring in a physical angle, but let me just say this: a girl who was raped in her own house, in her own family, from the age of 6 to, maybe I shouldn't use that. Actually, let me use another one. Let me use a woman who, in order to escape abuse from home, got married early, right? So that she could at least have an escape from home. Now got married to a man that she didn't marry this man because she loved him. She married him because he was ready to marry her and he was available and he could provide. And so she married this man. Now, when you go into a marriage with this type of mindset, you understand that when storms of life come, you're not going to be fighting for that marriage. You understand? Because you use that marriage as an escape from a life that you were not happy with. And what it means, what it means is that you are not going to be having a real relationship with that person that you're married to. That person is not going to be having a real relationship with you either. Because the basis of entering that marriage was just as an escape. Okay? So now we have 2 people who have entered a marriage and then they begin to have children. And at the time that you're entering a marriage, generally, for all of us, it's when you're still young, right? So I just want us to understand that this is sometimes the reason why a marriage has already ended even before it started. So that people are surprised when 25 years later, 30 years later, that couple is breaking up. It is because it was already going to be broken, but nobody knew. So because when you enter that marriage, you now stay there, have your children, and maybe at that time you are not financially capable of taking care of the children. So you are suffering through the companionship of a man that you have no interest in. The man himself is suffering because he cannot get what he needs from you as a wife, right? But you now stay because you cannot take care of those children. And when the children grow, you have lived all your life now from childhood up until maybe almost 50. And now it is time for you to now get your independence. So you are about to eject yourself from that. By the time you leave that marriage at that age, it means that you are just starting life now. So do you understand how a person might feel if this was their own experience? Because the person will just say it is my abusive parents that created this life for me. You understand that? And then what do you think would have happened in the lives of the children that were brought up in that environment where this couple they may even have been having issues because the marriage was not entered into to care for their spouse? You really cannot have a very healthy environment because there's only you can only pretend for so long, right? So then when you now come back, you can now see that this person's whole life has been colored, has been realigned and redirected because of this incident. Okay? Then there is another one of a man who grew up without the mother's love. In fact, it was him and his sister. Now, when the woman started talking about the things that the man does, the man doesn't even trust her. and she is baffled why this man feels as if the man has this attitude where it's like everything and everybody in life is against me. By the time we dug into it, what we found is that from the time of childhood, not having the mother's love, these people have felt like life has just created this thing for them where they will not, as if they are specially separated for punishment. So if you're going through life like this, in everything that you find yourself, when something else happens again, you will mark it again and say, yes, this is the pattern of your life, right? So what it means for these people is all of us experience disappointments. We try to do things, not everything that we're trying to do works. But when it happens for a person like this, they keep on marking these things. And even in choosing a person that they're going to marry, they may be choosing that person with the mindset that I know I'm not really going to have what I want, but I will just. So that's
money.
Yes. And some people are married to people who have this at the back of their minds and they don't know that this is where they're operating from. And so you find yourself in frustration. You find yourself in frustration, and the person may not open their mouth to tell you that this is what it is. Right? But that's the case with this man and his sister. Even in their family, he with his wife, she with her husband, and their children. It's always, and this man feels that he will say all the time, I grew up without my mother. And so why you don't have to have your parents. You can survive. If I survived, you survive, you can survive. And then he curses his children. He actually opens his mouth to say curses onto his children. This is a person who is struggling with seeing himself in this world as someone who the world has set apart, life has set apart for punishments. Do you understand? So he does not have self-love. So that's what I'm trying to help us to see, that a person's whole life, and he knows where it's coming from because he says it directly to his wife and children, that if he could survive without his mother, now that means those children are now going to live a life where they know our father cares nothing for us, and you don't know how it's going to affect them too. So when I was talking to the mother, I said, these children, they need to go for counseling. But the mother does not realize the depth of this thing. She says, no, they're fine. They're fine. If they're doing well because they're doing well in school, they're doing this. And you're trying to make the person understand these people really need the therapy, right? Because when these children come out tomorrow, if anything happens at any time, they're already going to start marking it as, yes, even our father rejected us, or even my father rejected me. So it's no surprise that this person again has rejected me. This thing again has rejected me. Do you understand? And these are people who, when they get into relationships, if something is not working out, instead of quitting the relationship, they can stay in abusive relationships because they feel like this is my own thing now. I have to make it work. I need to get that love that I did because there's a gaping hole that needs to be filled. Or there may be people who will not even care at all because, no, I will never have what I need. So these things play out in so many different ways. Even to go for an exam, they do an exam, maybe if they fail, they'll be like, or maybe the father is not there to pay for it. They just give up, and for that, now the person can go through life without getting that education that they should have. And in their 50s and 60s, they are still wallowing in what the parents created in their life. So it can be never ending. And then you now wake up and start telling the person to forgive when they are still living the life that was put upon them.
Yes. And still bearing open wounds.
Yeah. So it's just so much. It's just so much. If ever you're going to talk to anybody, talk to them from a place of compassion, to try to empathize with them with what has happened.
If somebody is trying to tell people that forgive.
Yes.
It's their own way of resolving the matter.
It's their own way of resolving the matter.
Yes. It's their own way of trying to help. Sincerely, they're just trying to help.
But I'm telling you that your way of trying to help is more abuse. Your way of trying to help is more abuse. You need to redirect your help.
Are you serious? Are you saying from the personal angle?
I'm saying it from both. I'm saying it from both professional, and personal. That's what I'm saying.
I have no doubt about whatever we are discussing. I have actually gained a lot today, sincerely. I have noticed that some people trying to help, they are adding more salt to the injury. They are in the bit of, okay, just assume, no, because I've seen a situation whereby a child got burnt, this fire, whatever, it happened in the kitchen, and then everybody just come, okay, put salt there. Mm-hmm. They put salt on the surface. Another one say put egg there. Mm-hmm. So by the time they got to the hospital, the doctor was just complaining that
the doctor was eating fried egg.
Exactly.
So that is applicable in this situation. People feel they are trying to help, but not knowing that they're adding to it. But then, while somebody would like, okay, let's just put raw egg on it, that one can work. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes the little suggestion could be the opening that they are looking for. That's the truth.
Well, nobody is saying don't suggest.
Hold on. Please, ma'am. Nobody has 360-degree knowledge or know-how about any situation. Even the experts, sometimes they're like, okay, this thing will not work, and it will work. So what I'm saying is that even while we are trying to tell them that don't tell them to forgive, just that did not sound like from a very convinced and tested empirical.
No, it is very convinced and tested and empirical, 150%. There's not going to be discussion on that. There isn't going to be because if you remember, I didn't say don't say it at all. I said this is the way you do it. So the reason I had to say that way is because I want to make sure that point is noted. The way you do it is that you start from trying to empathize and understand what has happened first.
Anyway, like I said, I have actually gained a lot. Beyond this, my jokes, I have actually gained a lot.
Okay.
No. I have added another thing to my.
I'm going to quickly tell you one instance. The stepmother said to the stepson, now that you are not talking to your father, I am now going to stop talking to you. Right? So I want you guys to imagine that. So somebody has been through something like this and is saying, I have been abused and I have been victimized. And this is they are not in a relationship with their father. And then the stepmother with whom they have a connection to the family now says, because you will not. Even 2 days ago, even 2 days ago, I saw one like that because the daughter is not.
Can we dwell on this, please? I'm because whatever you're saying, I'm wrapping my brain around it.
Yes.
You know why I'm saying all this?
Why?
Because even the mother, if the mother is in this situation, she is likely to say the same thing.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. That there was another one, the same story.
Let's not look at it from the stepmother thing. Let's look at it from the African homes. If you're saying the stepmother, the mother can even tell you if you don't talk to your dad.
That's the second one I was going to say. Even the mother is saying the same thing, right?
Yes, I have. Yeah. So it is still there. Like I said, is coming out from ignorance.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to point out.
It's coming out from ignorance, and it's coming out from like she has already said, like a psychic scars, like a pattern. Take for instance, how do you explain? Okay, the mother that this thing. Okay, my father molested me, and I thought that's the normal way that every father is expected to do. From the mother, and the history or the pattern is repeating itself, and the daughter is crying to such mother.
Exactly.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
She will not be able to provide solution.
Exactly.
So she's like, okay, don't worry. She will just tell you to manage it.
Yes. So then you find yourself dealing with people who are talking out of ignorance, and you are now being victimized all over again by people who themselves are victims.
It's still there.
Hello, Faith?
Madam Craig.
I don't know. Maybe she was gone. Oh, she is. Yeah.
No, she's still here, but maybe she's busy.
Maybe she's on mute. Yeah. So yes. So we want to round up, and that's actually the point. So you need to be aware. And the last thing that I would like to say is, if somebody finds themselves in this situation, uh, note that the people who are talking to you maybe re-victimizing you all over, but then they're doing it out of ignorance. You remember when I was saying that I used to be angry with those people, but I now later realize, these people don't even know what they're saying. So so you know what it is that you're going through or you've been through. And the people re-victimizing you do not realize that they're victimizing you as well. Even the initial abuser doesn't know that they are being, even when they know, right? They are so sick that they justify what they're doing. So so from that angle, if you come across a person like this, you can explain to them from this angle so that they can begin to have mellow down and begin to find a way to make sense of this thing, so that they're not hung up on waiting for that apology. You cannot get the apology from a madman or a madwoman. You're not going to get it. We have to, the people in the psychiatric homes, they didn't fall from the sky. They belong to families. So just because that person is mother and father does not exempt them from having insanity. It's unfortunate.
Okay.
Right?
My own conclusion is simple. To conclude is that if somebody should offend you and you're trying to look, I'm not going to forgive. The person that offended, the offender, is maybe having peaceful mind.
Yes.
Maybe having good tranquility, peaceful, and while you are having these grudges and you are having difficulty even in sleeping. So it's very important that you do this for yourself first. You understand?
Yes.
If you can, it's not that easy, I know. But then if God can give you that grace, please, I beg of you, do it. And to Madam Faith, we do not spend time like this on this conversation, but due to your influence, we have to extend it. We cannot waste this opportunity of not learning from the best. You have even made my day. May the Lord bless you.
Thank you so much. I will break up the conversation and also have it posted in small bits so that people will be able to watch and
Uzo, thank you so much. May the Lord bless you too.
Thank you. Thank you. Faith, are you going to say something before we close? One thing that I'd like to say is there is no exemption for abuse, whether it's coming from parents or whoever, okay? Because we make that mistake as human beings. The natural law is that everybody deserves dignity and respect. It doesn't matter who that person is, right?
That's true.
So the fact that the person is parent or adult does not exempt them from following that natural law. And once they're not doing that, keep in mind that you need peace. You need peace in life. You need to be able to thrive and to operate properly as a whole human being. So it's for you to not allow another human being to come and take away the life that was given to you by your creator. So you have a purpose in life. And when these things happen, they eat away a part of a person. So whatever you need to do to get yourself whole, you cannot give your life away to another person, is my message, right? They are the one in the wrong. When you can find a way to forgive, if you can, go ahead. But it has to be through the process of understanding what has happened and finding your own self-worth and self-love. That's where it has to begin. Faith, I don't know if you're on mute or if it's connection. And if you want to close now. Hello, Faith? Faith? Hello, Faith? Okay. Thank you, Shaya. We will close now. Thank you, viewers, for joining us on this conversation. And we will continue to have more of this because we need to find the balance on both sides for those who have wronged and for those who feel wronged. If you do not have peace of mind, then you haven't started living. And that is what we want. We want to have healed minds and healed people, and to prevent ourselves from sicknesses, from releasing toxins in our body, poisonous toxins. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Shaye. And ending this conversation now. Thank you, everyone out there.
My regards to Bishop.
Yes. I don't know why he didn't make it. Yeah, I will have the conversation with him at another time. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye then.